Hey guys, today we're going to update the firmware on my Holley HP to version 6, build 220, currently running V5. The steps I'm doing here should be pretty applicable to any firmware update. I'll be doing the HP, the laptop, obviously, and the touch screen, the 3.5-inch touch screen. So, first things first, we need to get the files from Holley. So go here to support on their website. Fuel injection, HP, and Dominator. Dominator should be pretty much exactly the same, I would think. I can't speak for Terminator X, but I would think it might be about the same too. So we need this one here. I think it's got basically everything except for the touchscreen. So we're going to download that. All right, so we have that. Now we're going to get the handheld firmware, which is the touch screen. I guess it's already done. That's just a file. So that's all we need to download, I do believe. We'll close that, go to our download folder, just like any other download that you'd get off the internet. So they should be right here at the top, and they are. So the first thing I'm going to do is just install this version 6 software on the laptop, which should just be click and go. I need to read the documentation before I do anything afterwards, okay? I'm going to have it create a desktop shortcut. So that should be it. I assume the Holley software will start up. I will reboot just to appease the Holley. So here's V6. I assume we can start the software up and look at it anyway. So it looks a lot like the old one. I see a couple new things there. I'm not sure what that is. So that might be nice. There might be a few new features there. So that's all you need to do for the laptop. From here, we've got a couple ways we can update the actual HP. You can do it through the Holley software, or you can do it with the SD card and the touchscreen. I'll show you both ways. I'll probably, I've found a use for doing it through the touchscreen. I borked my HP with a low battery a few weeks ago, and the laptop wouldn't even communicate with the HP anymore, so there is a need potentially to be able to do it with the touchscreen. So I'll show you how to do it that way too. Okay, my fault. I have already actually updated the firmware on my ECU. Didn't mean to. I got a bad video of it, and basically it didn't work, but I've updated the ECU. So I'm just going to walk you through what would normally happen as you would do it. So you turn your key on to get the ECU on, click USB link just like normal. Okay. It would probably fail normally with that, but you'd get a bunch of failures and it would prompt you. So once it's on the line and connected, you just go to this, your little sync button, you pick upgrade firmware. It's gonna tell you that you should be really careful and know what you're doing, have everything plugged in. You can say okay there, another warning. Once you get to that point, it's gonna basically say what firmware do you want to apply. And it'll take you right to the V6 firmware folder. So you're going to want to pick that HEFI 06 yada 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 .eep. So that's the file that you would do that. If you say open, if you click that and say open, There'll be a few more prompts, but basically that will install the firmware for you. So that's how you would do it through the laptop. Sorry, I did it and the video was poor. So there's really not a lot to it. There's just some confirmations. It'll prompt you to save your global file. You really need to do that. You need to keep track of where you put it because it will be gone. You have to put it back into the ECU after you've upgraded. So that's all that's to that. So next we'll look at upgrading that's in the touchscreen. So I have taken the SD card out of the touchscreen and put it into my laptop. So that's the E drive here that you're seeing. Within that there's a Holley folder and there's this FW0500. In there you'll see an old firmware file from the last time I did an update. So you'll want to navigate to wherever it put all your Holley stuff, which is probably going to be in documents of your user on the computer. Holley EFI v6 firmware. You're going to see a new .eep file with a 6 in it. So you want to grab that one. Put that over here on your SD card in that FW0500 folder. And then you want to go into this LCD and grab the FWU file. So we're going to copy that. So now we have both of those in there. The touchscreens it'll see both of them in that folder. So now we'll put that back in the car and proceed to update those two items. All right, I've put the SD card back into the touchscreen. So I'm going to turn the key on. The touchscreen will start up. So since we've already upgraded the firmware on the ECU using the laptop, it's telling me that the touchscreen is now out of date and it won't work until we upgrade the firmware. So we go to V4 here, and now I've got two options: upgrade device firmware or upgrade ECU firmware. We're going to do the device because we're working with the touchscreen right now. So touch that. This is just another confirmation screen here. Upgrade device firmware, and you can't see that, but that is our new version 6.fwu. There you can see it. So you can see it's in the FW0500 folder, and then that's our 6 version. So we should be able to click OK. My finger's too fat. So it's doing some file copying. Press OK to finish. So at this point it should reboot, and I guess it's checking that everything went okay. Oh, it's actually flashing now. Okay, so we should be able to turn this thing off and back on, and it should be happy now because we've got version 6 on the ECU and we have version 6 on this. Now I saw someone else with the same complaint that it still says V4 but it's obviously different than it was. And it's talking to it, so I assume it's okay, even though you would think that the V4 would say V6. It does not, and it didn't say V5 either, so I guess that's just how it is. I don't really know if there's a way to confirm somehow that, I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to confirm, but I saw someone else who had a similar problem, and it looks different, so it's obvious that it's updated. So there's your touchscreen update. So I went ahead and upgraded with the laptop, so that's pretty straightforward. You just go to the little sync button and go to upgrade firmware, and give some confirmations. It does warn you to back up your global file, which don't forget to do that. So you should have it on a laptop somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to show you real quick how to do the ECU update through the touchscreen. You can click this here. You click upgrade firmware, and then you select the file you want and you hit OK, and it steps through it. So that's really all there is to it. But at any rate, there's how you do it through. That's how you upgrade your touchscreen and your ECU using the touchscreen. So hopefully that was helpful to you. If it was, like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for other videos that might be useful to you. Thanks a lot.